And ironically, the big thinkers, the regulators, by telling people that they're going to take the risk out of banking, introduce more risk. People come to believe that the regulators, the big thinkers, will protect them. And that's wrong. They won't. The big thinkers missed Enron. The big thinkers missed Bernie Madoff. The big thinkers missed Silicon Valley Bank.
Are banks going to vanish away? Is de-dollarization a real threat or just a frenzy everyone is talking about? Today, everyone is asking these questions because everyone has money in banks. Even if they withdraw the money, who will guarantee that their money will not lose value in the future? So what is the real deal? And where is all this going? To answer every question you might have in your mind, we will tell you what Rick Rule has to say. He has over 47 years of experience in the securities and banking business. Until now, he has founded 7 financial institutions and is preparing to found a new bank that will deal only in gold. Let's listen to what he says about failing banks, de-dollarization, the future of currencies, and the options left for you. Let's get started.
That you have to have enough cash or near cash on hand that you can service your very, very, very short-term depositors. You don't have to have as much cash on hand if you're selling 2-year or 3-year or 5-year certificates of deposit. But if most of your deposit base is overnight or demand deposits, you have to have reasonable amounts of 30-day or 60-day or overnight cash on hand, so that to the event that you have a hiccup in the system, which is what we experienced, a run on the bank won't kill you. This is simple stuff. This is blocking and tackling. And too many big banks around the world, be they Barclays, Deutsche, Silicon Valley, First Republic, haven't paid sufficient attention to the blocking and tackling, the simple parts of banking that you must do not to fail.
Now, for a moment, let's say the banks don't fail, but the de-dollarization threat continues to linger. Listen to what Rick said.
The big enemies of the world, of the US dollar, pardon me, are not China or Russia or Saudi Arabia or South Africa. They're Congress. The United States government is inadvertently declaring war on its own currency, weaponizing the currency, using the currency as an instrument of US social policy, suggesting that other peoples, other societies, other countries around the world need the export of US social and political mores in a way that allows the US government to weaponize the currency. The interference in the SWIFT banking system, which is a global, not an American system, is more responsible than anything else for the decline in popularity of the US dollars. It's difficult to understand why the Chinese or the Russians or anybody else would want to assign seigniorage, assign what Charles de Gaulle described as the exorbitant privilege of being able to print out of thin air the world's reserve currency. But why the American citizenry would allow their Congress to debase the franchise of the US dollar is beyond me. And then you need to look at the arithmetic around the US dollar. You need to decide whether, as an example, the $200 billion that were added to the US banking system a couple months ago, without any increase in taxation, any increase in borrowing, which is to say $200 billion that were conjured up, counterfeited, quantitatively eased. How does that benefit the stock of existing dollars? How do foreign creditors feel about lending the United States money, getting paid 3.5% in a currency that's devaluing by 7% in terms of purchasing power, while at the same time enduring hostile action and criticism from the US government?
But when will complete de-dollarization occur? Listen to what Rick Rule said about that.
So I think that de-dollarization is something that might occur in your lifetime, but it won't in mine. I think the US dollar will be less important over time because the market share of the US economy relative to other economies in the world will necessarily decline as other countries do better. The United States, as an example, has 22% of the world's savings and investment assets. My suspicion is that 15, well, not 15, hopefully 30 years from now, however long it is before I shed my mortal coil, that our market share will be something like 17%. Not necessarily because of the decline of the United States, but rather because of the rise of other places. The consequence of that is that other currencies will have larger floats, more volume, and hopefully be more transparent. May occur, may not occur. But de-dollarization, I don't think, well, I think it's a benefit to the world, frankly. I think a multicultural world, a multilateral world is always safer than a unicultural world, even if that uniculture allegedly represents me, which is...
What do you think? Is the de-dollarization threat real? Should you wait and continue holding dollars to find out the reality? Or is it better to prepare and go for precious metals like gold and silver? If holding money is an experiment, why risk failing when you can have a secure and safe option like gold? We would love to hear your thoughts on that. Comment right below. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on the economy and events shaping the future. If you are someone who loves to be prepared for the possibilities ahead, you'll love our channel. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.